no other coach in MAC football history has won more games. But I'll tell you, his true legacy is really in the men and the players who he coached, who went on to earn their degrees from Ohio and from Nebraska, pursued their passions, and did so with the lessons of hard work, commitment, and integrity that they learned from Coach. And so as he continues into his next chapter, I'm very grateful he's accepted my invitation to stay on as a special advisor to our program. He will assist with our football program and with our department moving forward. He's an integral part to who we are, and he's an invaluable presence to all of us. And so today we wanted to gather and give you an opportunity to hear from Coach directly. And I know he has some things he wants to say to you, and I'm guessing you have some questions for him as well. We have named our new head coach going forward. Tim Albin will be introduced to the media tomorrow in a press availability, and at that time, we'll discuss what we intend to do with Tim and our program going into the 2021 season and beyond. But today, we wanted to gather and give you an opportunity to talk with Coach, and thank you, Coach, for your legacy.
Thank you, Julie. Appreciate it. Obviously, a lot of people to thank for my time here at Ohio University. Was under actually 4 ADs to start with, and Julie is the latest. And I appreciate all the work that she has done in terms of making things very easy for me and for the transition with Coach Albin. So it's very much appreciated. I will be glad to entertain any comments or any questions that you have, but maybe one further comment just on the people that have supported this program. It's been amazing from the first time I stepped on the campus, from the student body to the community, to the alumni, to former players. They've all been great. I appreciate what they've all meant to this program and actually to me. So be glad to answer any questions.
We will start with Jared.
Good morning, Frank. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, can hear you fine. Thank you.
Good deal. Hey, congratulations on an incredible career. And obviously the reason we're here today is you. And I'm wondering if you can kind of give us a little bit of detail on what you're dealing with, what the short-term and long-term care methods look like, and frankly, how things are looking for you in the future.
Yeah, I'll share some things with you, Jared. I don't know that I'll get into extensive detail on it, but it is a rare cardiovascular situation that I've got. And it's something that I'm going to have to deal with. I tried to kid myself a little bit early on that, first there was a little bit of denial about it. Then I thought, well, hey, you're feeling pretty good despite what they're saying, and you can keep going. But that I came to my right senses very quickly on that end of it, and knew that our players deserved more than what I was going to be able to give to them coming down the stretch here. So decided to retire and spend time just working on my health. Coaching is a tough job for any coach. The grind of it on a daily basis, the pressure of games. I felt like I handled pressure well, but as time went on and it's obvious that all that's involved in being a coach can beat you down a little bit. And I feel at this point in time ready for Coach Albin to step in, and he's a great coach, great person. He's got a great work ethic. He's a great recruiter, one of the best I've been around. I've said this before, but not as good as me in my earlier days, but he's really good. And so, we're ready to transition into that and move the program forward.
Thanks, Frank.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Bosco.
Hi, Coach. Tom Bosco with ABC6 and an OU grad. before you were hired, football was very much not Ohio University's brand. Were you hired with a mandate or with any instruction from administration, make us a football school? And did that happen?
Yeah, I don't recall there being any mandate, but obviously they wanted to improve the program. And I think it's accurate that prior to this staff arriving, our staff arriving, that the record was something like 2, and in the last 22 years, they only had 2 winning seasons. And so obviously it was a major rebuilding job. And I think the administration wanted to rebuild it. Obviously, Thomas Bay was the AD at that point. He wanted to make sure that the football program moved forward and help make that work. I was fortunate enough to really put together a great staff, and so things kind of started to take off at that point.
Oh, Justin Holbrook.
Congratulations on a great career, Coach. I wonder what made Athens and OU the right place to stay for 16 years. It feels like after all you did for the program, you could have moved on to somewhere that was more like Nebraska if you decided to stay in that town and be with OU for that long of a time. Why did you decide to do that for 16 seasons?
Well, if you look at my career, 55 years of coaching, I've only had 4 stops. 2 of those were high school jobs, and then there was the job at Nebraska and of course Ohio University. When I looked at it, I felt that it certainly was a rebuilding job. But if you look at my past, 3 out of the 4 schools that I coached at were rebuilding jobs. Both high school jobs were rebuilding jobs. Now, Nebraska certainly wasn't a rebuilding job. It was just kind of move forward and hang on to your hat kind of deal. But this was also a rebuilding job. So I wasn't one to just look down the road for something else. You know, when I take over a job, I took it over with the idea that I was going to build this program and make it work, and just show up to work every day, just put in a day's work and try to do the best you could recruiting and get the best out of your players that are playing for you on the field at that point, and then just enjoy the game and the players. You know, I love being around athletes. I love being around young people. They can keep you energized, and so it didn't matter to me about the other things that get attached to other jobs. You know, that really didn't make a difference to me, and so I felt very, very comfortable about all the places that I've been, and certainly staying 16 years was not a surprise to me. You know, I just felt like it made sense, and I'm a guy that goes from one day to the next, from one year to the next, and you know, just take it as it comes, and I'm here.
Jack.
Hi, Frank. Jack Gleckler from the Post. You said earlier that in the early stages of knowing about your condition, that there was a bit of denial about it, and you had initially felt pretty good about it. How long ago was that early stage, kind of feeling pretty good about it? And how long has this decision to kind of retire been in the works?
This jumped up on me pretty quickly. Obviously, I've been a guy that's not obviously, but I've been a guy that's worked out through my career. Most of it was towards weightlifting and versus cardiovascular stuff. You know, I just, as a player, tried to get as big as I could get, and I just was in a habit of lifting. It became a hobby of mine after I got done with sports. And so as I started to transition over to cardiovascular work, you know, it just didn't, there was something there that I was a little concerned about. I had an appointment with a doctor. You know, he started checking into some things. I eventually went to a heart specialist, and from there started to understand that you know, this was a serious serious condition. And so from there, I just I was actually feeling good. I just had that one episode, so I was feeling good. Thought that I could, you know, hey, you can still coach, you know. And so I kidded myself for a period of time, but then it finally came to a realization for me that, hey, you're asking everything of these kids, their time and their energy, and if you can't commit to that yourself, then it's time to move on.
Chris Vanini.
Yeah, Frank, you mentioned obviously the place was a rebuilding job when you took over. What appealed about the job? Why was Ohio the place you wanted to go?
Yeah. Well, part of it was the fact that it was a rebuilding job. You know, Nebraska, as I mentioned, was not a rebuilding job, and obviously this would be a change of pace from how things were at Nebraska, and I just felt like I could serve players as well here as I could anywhere in the country at any job in the country. You know, one of my greatest memories of my coaching career is a player our first season here at Ohio. Deion Byron came up to me and after a game and said, "Coach, I want to thank you for helping us feel like we're a part of Division I football." You probably can't understand how much that meant to me. And so those kind of moments are as important to me, if not more important to me, than some of the other aspects of college football and winning and being on a big stage and all those kind of things. So I was very fulfilled in this job. And, you know, I don't know what we won our first year, maybe 4 games, but, you know, I could see it coming, feel it coming. And we were able then to move forward and have success. And, you know, I just felt like I enjoyed helping these players feel good about themselves, feel good about their athletic ability, and feel good about the Ohio program. And so I was not looking. This is where I wanted to stay.
And your assistant coaches stayed with you for a very long time too. Tim has been with you the whole time. I mean, what did it mean to have so many of those guys also stick with you here?
Yeah, that's a real key to success in any program is continuity, and was really fortunate that you know, we were able to put together a staff of really qualified guys, and you know, guys that understood the game and were able to relate really well to players. And I think that's a big issue in college athletics, is how well you relate to your players. If you have that going for you, you have a chance of getting something done on the football field. So we had the right people together. It's amazing how the town of Athens works on people, you know, especially those that have young kids. The school system is really good. Everybody gets comfortable living here, so it wasn't a deal where, you know, they were coming to a small college town and didn't work their way into feeling really good about it, and for them and their families. And so it was not all that hard to keep our coaches together. Obviously, as we got successful, you know, guys would break off a little bit, but you know, there's been a lot of loyalty from a lot of people on the staff in this program, and that's what made things work for us.
Joe.
Hey, Coach, Joe Collins, WAB Public Media. I've been seeing online a lot of players, past and present, just been talking about how much you have meant to them and how much you changed their life, being not just a football coach, but a mentor. What does that mean to you, hearing that? And is building those relationships over the year one of your favorite things about being a head coach?
Yeah, I don't think there's any question that that's the case. You know, the bottom line in this business, you do have to win or someone else will be in your spot. But going along with that, it's all about relationships and watching your players maximize their abilities in the classroom, on the football field, continued with character development. You know, and that's what we've been all about in this this program, are basically those three things. And if you get those three things done, I consider it being successful. You know, whether you have a 500 a year or whether you win every game. So there's a lot of ways to look at success in college football.
Eli.
Hi, Coach. I'm Eli from the Post, and you've been here for such a long time. So obviously, there's going to be times when you have your ups and downs. How did you support your players during some of the down times and encourage them to get back to the?
Yeah, well, obviously, you're right in that there's ups and downs in the profession of coaching and also in being an athlete. You're going to have those times when things don't just fit, you know, and just don't work well enough for you to make you feel good about it. But, you know, that's really what sports are all about, is the competition and finding out where you stand and working at making yourself better so that you're competing and are going to be able to compete with the very best. And you can't wait for those games to then start rolling around. And so I just feel like it comes down to understanding all the value that there is to college athletics. And in my mind, of course, especially college football.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Kevin.
Hey, Coach, Kevin Wiseman from the Athens Messenger. I just wanted to ask you about, you talked about the rebuilding and, you mentioned the thing about the facilities. You've done a lot of work with the facilities and different ADs. Just kind of what role did that play in the rebuild and getting the program where you wanted it to be?
Yeah, working on the facilities were a major part of being successful and developing the facilities. Obviously, the Walter Fieldhouse, the Sook Academic Center are the two really main buildings that we've had put up since I've been here. But a lot of other projects, like the weight room, we've got a great weight room right now, and it wasn't all that great when we showed up, you know. So there was a lot of work to do. To be very honest with you, I had some support from people outside of Ohio, people with Nebraska connections that followed me here and really helped with some donations and helping to get things done, like the training room fixed up and just a lot of things. And so there was great support, not only from Ohio people, but also great support by some people from Nebraska. And that made it easy to get some things started here. The facilities they're an ongoing issue in my mind. We're not in a facilities race with people, but we want to make sure when a recruit does step on campus that he is impressed by what we have here. You don't have to have the biggest and the best in order to develop yourself into being a great athlete, but it's kind of nice to have the kind of facilities that you know, that you appreciate and can kind of encourage you to keep plowing ahead. And we're still working on that. You know, there's some things I think that Julie has in mind and that I think are great things to get done here. So even though, you know, I won't be able to help the team on the field, you know, maybe I can be of some help in helping to continue to develop our facilities. That's kind of what I have in mind.
Jared, do you have a follow-up? Chris
I
Vanini?
do. I'm sorry about that. Couldn't find my unmute button. Frank, one other question about the future of Ohio football. It's discussing the rebuilding project that you came into 16 years ago and where you leave it. You're obviously leaving it in hands that you trust very much. What is the next step for OU football? Where does it go? Obviously, it's a program that wants desperately to win a MAC championship and take the steps that you want so desperately to achieve with the program. What do you envision that's next at OU?
Yeah, you know, it's very difficult to win MAC championships regardless of what sport you're in. You know, we let a few of those slip away. I think we were in the MAC championship game 4 times, and at least 2 of those were games that haunt me a little bit in not getting it done. And so, you know, that's still, we're still looking out the front window for that. And I believe that Tim and the staff will give us a great opportunity to continue to move this program forward. And so in answering your questions, it's not just MAC championships, it's with regularity. It's wanting to be in the top 25 with regularity. You know, there is a bowl game out there that the top FC, the top school in our division can go to, and so those are all things ahead for us. I think we've had some excellent recruiting years, and that's a credit to our staff. And so recruiting has not slipped, and in fact, it may have gotten better and intensified here. So I think that, you know, there's a chance to have the kind of teams represent Ohio University that they would like to see represent them, and the fans in the community, people in the community see those, want to see us represent them well in a lot of different ways. Certainly winning is one of those. I passed this off with Tim here with Julie making the decision on that to where I feel a little bit, you know, we handed him a tough schedule. There's no question about that. And it's one of the tougher schedules we've had. And the following year, the non-conference schedule I'm talking about is also a very, very tough schedule. But I like our athletes. I like the pride that they have. They will be ready to battle. And you know, the MAC conference has gotten better. And so it's not going to be an easy deal for anyone to win and to win with regularity in our conference. And so, you know, that's all something that Tim has to take on. He is the right guy for that. You know, we mentioned, I think, some of the reasons earlier, and I don't. He's been able to maintain his staff, and so I feel good about every time we step on the field having a great shot of winning. You know, and it's easier to say that when you're maybe going to be up here looking out a window at the game than actually coaching us. But I know the spirit and the drive and the energy of our players and of our coaches, and they will do the best job possible. And I think that you'll be surprised down the road how this program may develop. And I think that Tim being the head coach and the person that Tim brings in to be the running back coach is only going to strengthen our staff. And I already feel we have the best staff in the MAC conference. So, there's a lot of things that are going to have to play out right to win a lot of games, but I think these guys have a shot.
Chris Vanini with a follow-up.
Frank, I know you don't like talking about the way things ended at Nebraska, but considering I don't know the next time we'll have you on a press conference, I just figured I would ask. The way things ended there, did that give you a chip on your shoulder when you came here to Ohio? And was there any sense of wanting to kind of prove yourself?
No, not at all. I had no chip on my shoulder. When I left Nebraska, I knew I was a good football coach. So I had nothing to gripe about on that end of it. I'm fine with how things out. They went a direction they felt they needed to go. It's turned out well for me, and so I've got no gripes about how my career has been. Like I said, how fortunate are you if you coach for 55 years and only have to really uproot your family? Actually, just won twice when you really look at it. I went from Omaha to Lincoln on a move, and then obviously high school move, and then took over Nebraska, didn't have to move, and then one of the move, 2 moves in 55 years, and I think I'm ahead of the game. I've only been fired once in this game. That's not bad for 55 years. So I've got no chips on my shoulder.
And I know you went back a couple of years ago to get the Tom Osborne Legacy
Mhm.
Award. I know Scott has invited you back. Nebraska fans have expressed a lot of support for you in your retirement. Just kind of what are your general feelings about, obviously, a place that meant a lot to you?
Yeah, a lot of great people. Love their energy and drive there, and obviously a great passion for football. And I was around Tom Osborne for a number of years there, and you can't find a better mentor. And so I was fortunate on that end of it. I was around one of the best who have ever coached a game for an extended period of time, and I was hoping some things would rub off, and so I've tried to really model what he's been all about in terms of the type of program that we have here. We have a walk-on program that is as good as it gets, and that's exactly what they had at Nebraska. Tom treated players in a manner that was what players look for, what players' families look for, and so I've tried to do that here at Ohio. Tom's never been an up and down guy. So I've tried not to be too up and at times and think I got all the answers, and then be too down in the dumps at times and think I don't have any answer, And so he has really rubbed off on me. And I appreciate what he did for me while I was at Nebraska, and I appreciate what I've been able to carry from him to Ohio.
Tom Bosco with a follow-up.
Thanks, Coach. What do you think the resurgence of the football program and an improved football program, what benefit do you think that's brought the university in general?
Well, I think, if you were here for our first game against Pittsburgh, which we did win, and you saw this at the end of the game, the student body pouring out onto the field. There's no question in my mind that a football program, if operated properly, can be beneficial to a university. And there's discussion about whether or not winning football games can bring in more students, those type of things. I think, there's a combination of things that bring students to a campus. We've got a great academic reputation here, got a beautiful campus that's here. But if you have a winning football team, I think that helps. And so it all, kind of comes together here in terms of getting students here on campus. And everybody wants to win, when we won the Pitt game, we won the Penn State game. So that's got to be healthy for your university when, as long as they're not burning couches. It's got to be healthy for your university when that kind of excitement is generated for your school.
Doug?
Hey, Coach, since they went with some of the Nebraska questions, I'll ask you one more here at the top of the hour. One of your former players, Trev Alberts, is going to be named the next athletic director. I was just wondering if you've stayed in contact with him. And secondly, what's next for you besides taking care of your health?
Yeah, Trev, great guy. I wish him the best. Obviously, you get the right guy in that position. He makes right choices. You have a chance to rebuild a program. So congratulations to Trev. We did stay in touch for a little bit after I made my move to Ohio. But, it's amazing how that works. Everybody just goes about trying to get their own job done at the highest level they can get it done at. And pretty soon you find yourself not keeping in touch as much as you'd like to with a lot of people, and so we have not really spoken for actually some time. And the other part of the question was,
you still probably were at Nebraska longer than you're at Ohio. Well, what besides taking care of your health, what's next for you?
Oh, yeah, a little uncertain. That was one thing that made me feel like maybe I could coach another year and drag this thing out, but I don't have any hobbies. That's a problem. I can't do much outside of coach. That's a problem. So I think I'll just try to relax for a little bit and see what that's like. It scares me a little bit knowing that I don't have something to go to. After you do something for 55 years and you step away from it and you don't have much to do, it worries you. I'm not good at golf. I'm good at losing golf balls. And so, that's probably out of the picture. And so you can tell I'm struggling with this. If anybody has any suggestions out there, they can send them to me. But I guess I'm just going to wake up and take each day as it comes. I know you can only work out so long during the day, and so that'll only take up so much time. But I'm hoping that things will go smoothly. I know I'll spend much more time with my family than I have at this point.
You're gonna work for me too.
And yeah, Julie says she used the word work, so I think I'm in trouble here. I'm going to be working for Julie.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
We'll go with two more questions and we'll go with Joe Collins for a follow-up.
Okay. So I've seen a lot of things that people are saying that they should put your name into the stadium now. Whether I think the most popular I've seen is Solich Field at Peden Stadium. Do you have an opinion on that? And what do you think that would mean if maybe in the future they do put your name in the stadium?
I've never been much I don't know, for recognition, I guess. I've never really needed recognition. I'm pretty comfortable knowing that I'm a good coach. And so don't really have to have reminders of that displayed around. So my first instinct is to kind of back away from that type of thing. But we'll see how it goes. We're going to try to raise some money, I'm sure. And but Julie's talked to me a little bit about that. But we're still arm wrestling on that one.
And then we'll go with our last question, Chris Rogers.
Chris. We can't hear Chris.
Chris, you there? Nope.
Well, Chris was our last director of football operations. Did a great job for us. Excellent public relations person, and somebody that the players could go to other than turning to a coach if they really had something they wanted to discuss and not have a coach involved. So he played a big role in our program.
And that is all of the questions that we have here. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Julie, for taking the time. I will send out a recording as soon as it renders to everyone who was on here.
Sarah, can you hear me?
Oh, there he is.
Sorry, I was at my computer at my desk and it didn't want to let me speak. Coach, I just wanted to say on behalf of myself and all the alums that were in your program, as well as my family, just thank you for everything and what you meant to Ohio football, what you meant to me, what I know that you meant to all the players that came through your program. It's one thing to be a coach, but from what I saw, both working for you, with you, and being one of your players, you meant so much more because you took the opportunity to put a stamp on each player's life that you had. And words cannot really do justice to what that means to so many young men, especially to me. So I just wanted to say thank you, Coach.
Well, thank you for all that you did, Chris. Just so you know, Cub's doing a great job. You trained him well. And so we appreciate all that you have done for this program and what you continue to do by having trained Cub well,
Well, I wish you the best, Coach, and I'll be talking to you, buddy.
Thank you.
And Coach, last one, Coach Haynes is also here.
Okay. Yeah.
Coach, how you doing? Hi, Jolie. I told Mary I wouldn't want to play poker against you after talking to you last week. No, we just wanted to say congratulations.
Yeah.
Really happy for you. And thank you for everything.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. Brian and Mary are at Appalachian State right now. Very successful program. He was in charge of our tight ends and our special teams while he was here. Now he's a running back coach there, as well as special teams coach there, and a great program, and he's doing a super job there. Brian comes back every now and then. It's always good to see him when he has a chance to drop in. So wishing you guys well, with the upcoming season.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Good to see you, Mary. Okay, bye.
All right. That again, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Thanks, Coach. Thank you, Julie. And again, I'll send the recording out to everyone after it renders. And then be on the lookout for the link for tomorrow afternoon's press conference with Coach Albin. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.